Okay, hello everybody. Welcome back to Target Transfers. We are doing our Friday lunchtime live today from the Heat Printing Innovation Centre. I'm just going to double check. Are we live across all platforms? Are we good?
Yes, we are. People are just joining.
Perfect. Hello to everyone. If you're joining us live today, make sure to leave a comment below and let us know where you're watching from and what company or what your name is. We'd love to know who's in our audience today. I just want to, for the people watching on YouTube and Facebook and LinkedIn, just apologise for the slight change in the screen this week. We did have a technical issue with the audio. We've managed to make it work, so hopefully you can all hear me okay. But it does mean that we just have to have that tiny little box in the corner, but I think we can work with that. So yeah, other than that, let's get into the live. So have we got joining us today? Have you had any comments?
So far, I can see the Audis crew.
Hello
to you guys. We have got Roxy. We've got Leanne, who's also from Audis as well. Hello to everybody. Let us know where you're watching from today.
Brilliant. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to talk about is just who Target Transfers are and what we do as a business. So essentially, we help printing businesses fulfill their customers' needs. So we produce custom heat transfers like these ones here that we're going to talk about today. And we are also the UK home of Hotronics, which are the world's leading heat presses, which is obviously one of these ones I have next to me today. Now, we obviously manufacture your transfers with your artwork. So how it works is you send us your design, we print them onto a carrier sheet, and then we send them out to you so you can heat press them and produce garments that look a little something like this. So obviously today we are talking levers, which is why we have this example and this example over here. Now, the first thing I'm going to talk about is why you should be producing levers garments as a heat printer. Now, if you own a heat press, regardless of whether or not your business is fulfillment or whether you have your own clothing brand, you should be doing levers either way for an extra revenue stream. Now, that doesn't mean to say that you have to promote it on, say, for example, you had a clothing brand and you didn't want to promote the fact that you were doing levers alongside that because it's not very consistent with your brand imagery and messaging and things like that. That's fine. You can do it on the side. It doesn't have to be a massive promotion on your website or on your social medias or emails. You can just approach your local schools, your local clubs, and get that business that way. So it really is a great profit margin business for everybody to be getting into. So firstly, I just wanted to address that we've had quite a few people messages recently saying, oh, I really want to get into levers, but, you know, I have a clothing brand that's, you know, branded as this. How do I get around doing that? So it is possible to do. And if you are a fairly new heat printer or you're starting your own clothing brand, your passion projects don't necessarily always pay the bills at first, but something like this will. So if you do this for 50% of your time and your passion project for the other 50%, you can fund your passion project without having to, you know, work on your clothing brand at a financial loss or anything like that. So that's just another something that we do here at Target. We help you run a successful business. We help you start, run and grow a successful garment decoration business. So let's get cracking into custom heat transfers. Do we have any questions so far, Beth?
We haven't got questions, but we've got a great audience with us today. Everybody's piping up and letting us know where they're from. So we have got, is it Kyle at Audis who's in Scotland?
Hello.
Leanne's in Northern Ireland. / Southern Ireland. So okay. Ireland in general.
Yeah.
Fantastic. We've got north of England. Claire's in the north of England. We've got a few hellos. So yeah, let us know your levers related heat printing questions in the comments, guys, and Molly will answer whatever you need to know today.
So, right, let's move on to the main reason that we're here, and probably the reason that you clicked onto this live video is full color levers designs. We've spoken about it a little bit before, and it's been something that has grown over the last few years. But what we have done recently at Target Transfers is launched a brand new template for full color levers. So you guys probably are aware of our screen printed heat transfer template, which is just your plain black or plain white 1 to 5 color screen printed heat transfer template, which has been the standard for levers for the past few years. Everyone's moving over to custom heat transfers. But full color is something that we really need to make sure you're all making the most of. And it's something that in the last couple of years has been growing and really helping heat printers to not only increase the profits that they're making on each garment, because you can charge more, but it helps secure new business. And there's so many other great benefits. So today we're doing a live in honor of our brand new template, which is available to download on EasyView right now. But firstly, I want to talk about the actual why you would have full color. So this isn't the actual template itself. This is just a full color example. But when you're using a full color for levers, you have the opportunity to not only make your garments look more on trend and a bit more with the times, but you can also match the school's colors and the school's branding to their products. So even if you're taking an example hoodie in, say you've ordered an Ultra Color Max DTF sheet of your local schools, 4 or 5 of your local schools' colours, you've printed them onto hoodies and you're taking them in to try and secure that contract, it's going to stand out a lot more to them as a customer if you walk in with something that's branded to their school and their school colours than if you just walked in with the plain standard black or white. Now, obviously, we'd recommend taking both, because some schools might just end up going with either a hoodie that's a similar colour to their school and having a plain black or white print on there, or they might like the idea of the full colour and take you up on that. But either way, I think taking both options with you just gives the customer the confidence that you are the best person for the job, regardless of whether they go for full colour or 1 to 5 colour screen. Because if you are the only person out of 3 or 4 heat printers that shows up with a full color option that looks and feels just as good as screen print transfers, they are going to look at you and go, wow, they know what they're doing. They know where the technology lies. They're the person for the job, basically. So that's part of the reason why we think you should be doing that. And I just wanted to show an example as well of the whole taking transfers in as a demonstration. So right here, this is a standard Ultra Color Max custom heat transfer sheet, and this is an Ultra Color Max DTF transfer sheet. So as you can see, they are exactly the same colors. So 2 slightly different print methods. Now, the DTF transfer is the transfer you would take if you were going to go into schools and take an example with you. So this is our no minimum order next day dispatch transfer. So this is for samples, for short runs, all of that kind of stuff. Then the Ultra Color Heat Transfer is the transfer that has a minimum order of 10, but scalable pricing. So once you've secured that job, you would place your orders with Ultra Color transfers because you want to make sure that you're getting the best price per sheet. Now, with Ultra Color, the more sheets you order, the lower the price gets. And obviously with gang sheets, you can reduce that even further. So basically, this is your scalable option. But I just wanted to show you the difference between the two and that there's virtually none on there. Can everyone see those okay? Yeah. Go left, there we go. So you can print this one and supply them with this one and they won't know the difference. And it means that you can just give them an actual example. Like I said, you could order 4, 5, maybe even sort of 8, 9 school lever transfers on one DTF sheet, depending on which size you order, and take custom examples into every single school in your local area. So there really is no barriers to entry with this anymore. Do we have any questions before I continue?
We haven't got questions yet, but we've got plenty more people joining us and letting us know where they're from. So we've got SWS Stationery 1, who is watching from Doncaster today, which is lovely. We've got Dewdrop Print, who are watching from Southeast London.
That's a great name, Dewdrop Print. Yeah, I love that.
Mammon on LinkedIn is saying hello, and Derek is in the Northeast in YouTube. So we've got quite a few watchers today all across the UK.
Brilliant. Well, I hope everyone is enjoying us so far.
Oh, we've just had a question in
from, go for it.
From Dewdrop Print, and they said, do you recommend? I can't
get
my words out. Sorry, guys. Do you recommend a particular brand of hoodies for Levers hoodies?
Right, let's talk about that actually. That was going to be one of my next points before we started fusing. So the hoodies that we always tend to go for here at Target are the JH001 Just Hoods hoodies. That was a mouthful. We have so many variations of these. The Audis guys are probably laughing at me right now because I've got every single hoodie that you could possibly need for levers, but we love this hoodie just because it's a great price point. It's around, I did write this down, it's around £8 to £10 per hoodie depending on how many you order. So, and that's on rallowise.com.
I believe it's £8.99 at current.
£8.99.
Yeah.
I think it changes based on the sizing, but regardless. So around £8 to £9 per hoodie. And we've costed the transfers out to be between £1 and £3 per sheet. And obviously you can fit 2 per sheet, so that's halved again. So really, really easy way, cost per entry. But yes, these are the hoodies that we use. Beth, have we got one of the cross necks?
Yes.
Anywhere around. I quite like to show one of those while we're on the topic. But this is the JH001, I believe. Oh no, this is the JH201. There's so many versions. The black one is the so this is the, where are we? This is the JH201. And I believe the difference with this one and the other one, is that the 001? We have so many Just Hoods hoodies, it's hard to differentiate. Here we go. That's the JH001. There we go. So this is the JH001. This is our go-to for levers. As you can see, it's just your standard hoodie. It's got a pocket on the front, which is perfect for school levers. But then obviously you've got that big back print ready to fuse and the drawstring as well. So these are just our favorites. They're a great hoodie to try out or invest in for levers. We've also got the cross neck style, which I really like for levers hoodies, which is something a little bit different for this year. And as you can see, we've got the styling on here, which is basically a bit of a chunkier cross neck. So it just means that you can add like a little bit more value to your customers. You can increase the price point on this ever so slightly because it has that extra detail. It still has the pocket here, but as you can see, it's got slightly thicker seams on the edge and it's got the thumb holes as well. So there are 2 favorites, but we do have blog posts about this and, you know, lots of information on our YouTube channel regarding levers. So if you do want any further information on this, you can either look there or get in touch with the guys at Audis Just Hoods. All we do is they'll be really happy to help you out with that.
Brilliant. Carl from Audis has just clarified. He said the 201 is organic and recycled polyester version of the 001. Thank you, Kyle.
It's always felt a bit thicker, but they look the same. So I was like, oh, I'm not sure about this. Okay,
Lovely.
Brilliant. Thank you very much for that, Carl. This is why we work together. Okay, let's move on to the, let's do a fuse, actually. I do want to show everybody how to go online and download this template, but I'm going to save that till the end so that we can switch over to YouTube. So let's start off. Is our heat press at temperature? Yes, it is. So I'm going to use the JH001 for this first fuse, and I'm going to use the Hotronix Auto Open heat press today. Now, before we start, I'm just going to check the pressure of it. Let's go down ever so slightly.
Just while Molly is sorting out the pressure for the auto open, we've had a question come in on YouTube from Derek, who has actually asked what the style code for the cross collar JH is. So it's actually JH021. So that is the cross neck hoodie from Audis.
One of our personal favorites.
Yes, and it is very snuggly. It's great for winter wear, isn't it?
It is. It is one of my favorites. I won't lie. Okay, so while we're doing this, I'm going to talk through the heat press that I'm using, just so that you can all get a bit more of an understanding as to why we should have Hotronix presses. So you've probably just seen that I just threaded this on to the heat press rather than placing both layers onto the platen. Now, Hotronix threadability is a massive game changer for heat printers because it means that you can get accurate pressure when pressing and all of your seams and zips can be off the platen, which for this big back print is kind of essential. So here we've just got a completely flat surface, and this is a little bit creased because we've been storing them folded up. So we just want to make sure that all of those creases are out of the garment, all of any moisture that's absorbed from the cold weather recently has gone, and that garment is completely ready for the transfer to be applied. So I'm going to get my release paper. You don't have to use release paper when pre-pressing, but we like to just for best practice. There we go. 3 seconds will be perfectly fine. And I can see on my digital readout that the pressure on here still isn't accurate. So that's another great reason to do a pre-press. You can adjust your settings to make sure that everything is accurate for your fuse. So let's try that again. See, now our pressure is on a 5, so that's perfect. And as you can see, it's auto opening, which is one of my favorite features about this heat press. I've got some scissors, please.
Oh yeah.
Sorry.
I'll grab you some
Didn't quite think
scissors.
through cutting this out before I pulled it out the drawer. So the next thing we are going to do is just cut the levers template off of the gang sheet. Thank you very much.
Brilliant. While Molly is cutting that out, I've had another question come in on YouTube from Derek, who said, can you get the DTF in A3 so that it includes letters and school logo?
You can order DTF in any of the sizes you can order ultra colour and screen in. However, it depends on what you are ordering from like a price point of view as to which one you'd go for. So if you're just wanting to order one A3 sheet for one school, for example, then yes, by all means do that. But if there are 2 or 3 schools that you want to approach, we'd always recommend getting the 55 by 55 sheet, throwing as much on there as you can, even if it's not necessarily levers related, even if you've got, you know, one levers A3 gang sheet and then you've got some of your branded logos for neck labels or something that you want to get done, make the most of the use of that sheet, because it's more cost effective to order the 55 by 55 and gang loads of transfers on there. So you can, but also just a reminder that that is the sample product for like the smaller run product. Choose standard ultra color when you've secured the job and you're placing your main order, because that will get you a much cheaper price. And you can do A3 gang sheets on that as well. So, okay, are we good on questions?
Yeah, we're good for now, yeah.
So now that we have cut the top part off of the transfer, I'm just going to place it onto the hoodie. I'm going to place it a bit further down than I would if I was fusing on the front, just so that when the hood hangs backwards, you can still see the levers print. That looks about right. Should really be using the laser alignment system, but I was unprepared on that part today. Okay, and then we're going to fuse this for 12 seconds at 120 degrees. So ultracolor is the lowest fusing transfer that you can get your hands on. Our pressure is still, it's at 6, so 4 to 6 is good for transfers on hot tronics presses. It's going to open on its own. And we are just going to let this cool down because ultracolor is a cold peel product. So I'm just going to gently remove this from the press. And as you can see, it glides off really nicely there with the quick slip. I'm just going to place it on the workbench next to me to just cool off for a minute or two, and then I will peel it and show you the result. Do we have any other questions while we're waiting for it to cool down?
Yeah, we've had a question on YouTube. Derek again, he says, is the DTF A4 and the Ultracolor A3?
You can do both in any size, any transfer. So direct to film transfers and Ultracolor transfers are separate products on the website. So Ultracolor Max DTF transfers are short run, minimum or no minimum order sampling products, or like low run ordering. Ultracolor, normal Ultracolor is the separate product on the website next to screen print, and that is the one that has minimum order of 10. All of our transfers have the same, I think it's 6 to 9 size options we have on the website, plus the 55 gang sheet for Max. But you can order Ultracolor and Ultracolor Max in A4 and A3. But like I said, it depends on sort of what you're ordering for and your quantity. If you're just sampling, go for Ultracolor Max. And if you're ordering your bigger runs, go for Ultracolor Standard. If you are unsure or need more clarification on that, if you go to the What Are Heat Transfers page on our website and scroll down, there is a video explaining the 3 different heat transfer types. So that'll probably help you out.
Fantastic. We've had a couple of comments rather than questions.
Go for it.
Lydia says hello. She's watching from Sheffield.
Hello, Olivia.
Hello to Sheffield. And we've got Dewdrop Print who said that our customers love the cross neck. A lot of love for the cross neck.
I love the cross neck. I'm on board with that. Okay, I want this to cool down now. I want to peel it for you all.
A little bit longer on the cool.
Yeah, it's really important with Ultracolor that you let it go cold and you don't let it go like, lukewarm and then peel it, especially with levers, because you've got such, I'll use the black one, you might be able to see this in a bit more detail, but because you have got such detail in there with the names, you don't want to risk not letting them set properly and then pulling it off when you pull the carrier off. So,
oh, Robert says hi from Blackpool. We've got some really varied listeners and watchers today.
We're all over the UK. This is great. Power of the internet.
Let us know if you guys have any heat printing levers related questions today. That's what we're here to do, to help you out and to answer those for you.
So this is our almost ready to peel product. I just wanted to show you, so I'm not cheating, before we peel it. So this has been fused and we're just letting it cool down. We don't normally recommend that you wave them around like this before peeling them, but I want to show you before and after. So I'm just going to peel this now. I'm going to do it here so you can see.
You might be able to hear this, Kyle. He says you need an ASMR mic
Oh,
for the peel.
we're talking over
I talked over it. I'm so sorry, guys.
We'll do another one.
I'll be quiet for the next one.
Okay, so that looks pretty perfect to me. So there you have it. That is a full colour levers print. That actually looks really good on the green.
So nice on the green, yes.
Love it. Now, one of the questions that we get a lot around custom heat transfers, I just want to address, is the need for a second fuse. You do not need to do it. It is a waste of time. You'd be doubling up your production time, wasting time, wasting money, when you could be fusing another garment and making another set of profit. So do not, that is done. That is completely on there. That is stuck. That is not going anywhere.
Amazing.
It looks great. I love it.
It looks really good. I'll try not to talk over the next peel, guys.
Shall I do another one so that everybody can see? Okay, I'm just going to, Beth, will you grab me another ultra colour, please?
Yes, I will indeed.
Cool.
We've had another question. Well, so this person on YouTube, they may have just missed the part where you spoke about pressing.
Oh, yes,
transfers
Robert has
again.
asked, do you press again once peeled? No. That is finished, finito. The only thing that we obviously recommend is that you don't wash them for 24 to 48 hours after you've fused them. But realistically, by the time, you're not going to wash them before you send them to the customer. And by the time you've fused the rest of the order, boxed them up and shipped them, by the time the customer gets it, wears it for a day and washes it, that time will have most likely passed anyway. But we just obviously have to let the adhesive that's in the transfer adhere to the fabric, and that just takes, we just like to make sure it's properly on there. So yeah, that is completely on there and completely stuck, not going anywhere, and it's got a really, really soft, thin finish as well. So very happy with that.
Oh, hello, Jazzy Crafting. They said, hi, it looks fab from work.
They're DTF.
Sorry, what was it that you after, Molly?
Normal ultra colour, please. I bought DTF to show the colour examples. So,
Deepest
I mean,
apologies. We'll go for a nice pastel blend one again then,
we'll go for a pastel. Okay, we'll do that. I'm going to pop that on.
Oh, I really rummaged through the drawer to find those as well.
Oh, the hoodie's stuck. Okay, right. So manoeuvring on to oh dear, bit of an avalanche going on the transfer table. We've got the next hoodie up for the JH001, which we're going to do in this lovely grey material. So I'm just going to pop this on the heat press. Like so. Apply our release paper. Like that, and we're going to pre-press it for 3 seconds. Really easy. The good thing about one of the many good things about the auto open heat press is that it has dual timers on it. So regardless of, regardless of whether or not you're doing ultra color or screen or anything like that, your pre-press is always timed separately before the main press. So as you can see, the Hotronix opened after 3 seconds, and now without touching any of the buttons, it will open after 12, which is the settings for ultra color. So that's handy. So again, take our same, this is just another ultra color transfer, pop her on there. Our release paper. Don't actually need that piece, it's big enough. And that will do 12 seconds and open on its own. So the dual timers really makes a difference with, again, it's another efficiency hack. We're all about efficiency hacks here at Target. And it just means that you don't have to keep swapping your settings in between each fuse, which can be really time consuming. That's probably going to fall off.
Oh, this is a fantastic question.
Go for it.
Can you artificially cool your transfer for a cold peel? Has anyone invented the cool press yet?
That's a good idea.
That's an amazing idea. Do you know what I actually saw on a TikTok video recently?
Yeah.
Somebody used a cold, like an aluminium block, and they just placed it on top of their transfer after it had been pressed to help it cool down a little bit quicker.
Do you know what you can do if we're talking about cold surfaces? If you have one of our equipment carts, which I have actually got one here, but you just can't see it, they're pretty cool. Like they're a cold surface basically. So I always place my transfers onto that.
That is basically a cold aluminium block.
And it's basically, it is a cold aluminium block. So instead of getting an aluminium block and putting it on the top of the transfer, turn your hoodie upside down and plop it onto the equipment cart. And that's why it took around 30 seconds for a minute for our transfer to cool down, ready to be peeled. If it was face up on like a warmish table or something like that, it might take a bit longer. But to be honest, the easiest thing to do is just to press, leave it there, move on to the next one. And then once they're cooled, you just come back and peel them.
Yeah, you just work it into your production line, don't you? You press, 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 peel, peel, peel. Fantastic. That's probably still cooling, isn't it?
It's nearly there.
We've had another question come in on Facebook, and this person has just said, "Hi Molly, are you able to demo a DTF press and show how it looks on the garment?" So they might have they might have missed the beginning of the live, but that's okay.
I haven't demoed one.
Oh, you haven't? You just showed the difference between the two, didn't you?
So what we're going to do then is increase the temperature of the press, which will probably only take a couple of minutes. But if I just press, and you probably can't see this, but press the mode in the middle, and I'm going to take it from 120, which is the settings for ultra color, to 145, which is the settings for ultra color max. Now, for demonstration purposes, do we have another one of those green hoodies anywhere?
I will go and look for one.
Green or grey, either one would be fine. I just want to demo so this is a DTF transfer, exactly the same colourway as the ultra colour that we've just done, but I'm going to fuse it onto, hopefully, one of the same garments, if we have one, and show you the difference straight up so that you can't see a difference in them. Do we have one? Do we need to call on the guys at Audis to send us some more hoodies? Oh, that's fine. Yeah, that's the same comparison. Perfect. Yeah. Right, let's peel. Oh, it's the same.
Oh, it's the exact same. Okay.
Perfect. Okay, we have 2 grey hoodies. This is good. Right, we'll just check that's cold. Still got a little bit of heat in it. I'll give it a minute. Cool. So while we're talking DTF, who asked that question, sorry?
That was Ali on Facebook.
Ali, if you missed the beginning of the live, it might be worth going back once we've finished today and just watching the beaning part, just because we talk about when to use DTF and when to use ultracolour and the benefits of DTF for like sampling and securing jobs. So if you have already seen that, then sorry, but if you haven't, go back and watch it because it'll be very valuable. I want this to cool down. Okay, let's give this a peel. That's cold now. Okay. Is that better?
Yeah, let us know if you heard the peel, guys.
I should have put my mic to it. That would have been better. So, and there you go. Another full colour print on a grey hoodie. That looks brilliant.
That really stands out. The white's lovely against the grey.
I can't get over how soft and thin the finish is on them. Like they're just, look at that. They're just perfect.
They really move with the garment as well, don't they?
They're so nice. So that is ultra colour standard for levers. Look at that placement. That's pretty good.
That's it. Molly's going into garment fulfillment.
Okay, right. So this is ultra colour standard. Let's do, it's on 134. Okay, we need to give it a couple of minutes.
It's got about 10 degrees left, hasn't it?
It has. It's probably only another 5 minutes or so maximum. Is there anything else we can talk about? I can go through the heat press actually while we're waiting. I did have that ball part to discuss. So like I said earlier, this is the Hotronics auto open heat press. Main reason it's called that is because it auto opens by itself. Ta-da! I thought it wasn't going to do it then. There was no garment under there and I thought it might not be enough pressure. No, so it auto opens on its own. As I said, the dual timers make a massive, massive difference, especially if you are have a big production line going, or even if you've just got 10 to 20 garments, it means you don't have to reset your press in between every single fuse. You know, the pre-press is just 3 to 5 seconds quick before you move on to the main press. The digital readout on here is a game changer for me. The ultracolour transfers, ultracolour max DTF and screen all go down at the same pressure, so medium. But obviously, depending on which garment you are fusing onto, you may need to adjust that pressure, because a t-shirt is obviously a little bit thinner than a hoodie or a sweatshirt or something along those lines. Also, if you change the platens, you might need to adjust the pressure, because some of them are obviously bigger or smaller, slightly higher, things like that. So the thing that I love about this is that it has I don't know if people can see this, but there is a pressure readout here, which goes from 0 to, I think it's 9 on here, but pressure we want is 4 to 6. And it just means that you can know exactly what your pressure is, so that you've got the accurate fuse. I can't use heat presses that don't have the pressure readout on there, because I just don't trust myself. Andy's quite good at doing it on the max heat press, because you're supposed to be able to use 2 fingers to pull it down for medium pressure. But even if it's set to medium pressure and someone tells me it is, I still don't trust it, because it hasn't got the readout. So I need the readout, and trust me, if you have it on your press, or if you do get on these presses, you will not be able to go back. The pressure is adjustable by this black knob here. You just twist it half a turn or a quarter of a turn, either way, up or down. You don't need to adjust it round and round and round for like 1 point. It's like the tiniest little adjustment. We could also talk about the platens. These platens are interchangeable. So if you are fusing, for example, on the front of these hoodies, there are these pockets here, which makes it, oh, this is going to be interesting. There we go. There are hoods here, which make it a little bit awkward to get accurate pressure, because as you can see, this seam is ever so slightly raised on the garment. So we want to avoid pressing over that, because it means that the heat press is going to take the pressure from this point of the garment and not the point that you want your transfer to apply to. So what we would do in this situation is remove the platen on this press and apply, thank you, one of these, which are just ever so slightly smaller, but they are exactly the same. But as you can see here, you just slot them in and out of the bottom. Can everyone see that okay? Yeah, you just slot them in and out. This place replaces this one here, little lever on the side, pop one out, pop the other one in. And that's pretty much it. It means that you can isolate the print area and you don't have to worry about your pressure being off. So in the beginning, obviously, we spoke about making sure all of your seams and zips and pockets and all of that are off of the press platen. But if your platen's too big, then obviously you can't do that. So that's where these come in. believe we have around 15 different platen shapes, sizes between Hotronics. So plenty of options to choose from, dependent on your heat press and your garment.
So we've had a couple of questions come in. One is platen based and one is finish based. So let's start with the platen questions.
Yes.
So it says, oh, sorry, it's pressure based. Do you set pressure based on GSM, fabric composition, type of transfer, or is there just a standard pressure everybody should use?
So for Hotronics presses, there's a standard pressure of medium, and that is between a 4 and a 6, so 4, 5 or 6. Any of those are fine. Obviously, pressure depends on the garment you're putting underneath. So for example, if I put a t-shirt, this press right now is up to temperature, is set to, well, it's set to a 1. It was set to a 5 with a hoodie under it. If I was to set a t-shirt underneath it, that would probably be at a 4 or a 6, a 4 or a 5, sorry, because it's ever so slightly thinner. So there's not as much material under the press when it clamps down. That doesn't necessarily mean that you do it by GSM. You just have to twist it a quarter turn to get the right pressure per garment. But if you're doing levers, for example, you will probably be doing it all on the same hoodie, regardless of whether it's the same color or not. It will be the same thickness. So once you've set it and you've got it right, you just bosh them all out for the next like hour, 2 hours, however long it takes. So yeah, medium pressure on Hotronics, 4 to 6 is the ideal.
It is worth noting though, guys, if you are perhaps working with the JH001 and then switching to the JH021, which is a bit of it's a bit of a thicker hoodie, so it is likely you will need to adjust your pressure to get that medium reading of 4 to 6. Yeah, Molly's got a great point there. To make it easier for yourselves, just batch out all of your JH001s and then switch over, change your pressure and do your JH021s.
Exactly.
We've had a question come in from Ali again on Facebook. They said, do you do metallic transfers? For example, if an image is sent over, can you choose to have it in a metallic finish?
Yes, so you can with our screen printed heat transfers. And the best part, I love telling people this, is that we don't charge anything extra to do that. We have all the inks here ready, and all you have to do is go onto the color palette and search for, it's either shimmer.
It's shimmer. It's called shimmer, yeah.
Are they shimmers or are they metallics?
They are shimmers.
Okay, shimmers and metallics in Easy View. Just search for it in the color palette. And we have, I believe, like 6 to 10 different shimmer options. There's a silver and there's a gold. I think there's a black. There's definitely like a pink, a green, a blue. So there's a few different options there. So yes, you can do shimmer with 1 to 5 color screen. And no, it doesn't cost you anything extra.
Fantastic. Brilliant. I think
cool. I'm just going to sum up the press then. So the final thing I wanted to talk about, obviously we've talked about the platens, the pressure, the digital readout, the auto opening. I just want to cover the threadability one more time. So when I applied the hoodie earlier, you saw that it just went completely underneath the press. The Hotronics auto open requires a counter caddy or a caddy stand in order to be threadable. This is the caddy stand that I've got here, and this is around, where's the note on that one? This is £470. The counter caddy, which is a tabletop version, is around £300. So they're both really, you know, affordable add-ons to a massive efficiency saving on your heat press. And threadability does make all the difference. Andy's done a very good efficiency hacks video on that. So if you haven't already seen it, head on over to our YouTube and search for that. I believe it's called How to Save 55 Days a Year, because he does manage to save you 55 working days a year, which is very impressive. I think that's all I wanted to talk to you about the heat press. This heat press does only take around 135 t-shirts total to pay off the cost of it, and that's only 11 t-shirts per month. So if you're doing levers, for example, one season's worth of levers, not even a whole season's worth of levers hoodies, will pay off this heat press, and then it's pure profit from that point as well. So really, really affordable way to, you know, get into heat printing. It's my personal favorite. You've probably noticed in all of the lives and all the videos I do, this is the heat press that I use the most. It's just one of my personal favorites. So yeah, any more information on the Hotronics Auto Open, is there a link in the description?
I'm popping links in.
There will be a link in the description.
YouTube,
Perfect.
LinkedIn, and Facebook as we speak.
Thank you very much. Now, let's maneuver on to the Ultracolor Max setting, which people have been asking about. So, Ultracolor Standard, we're going to do it on the same coloured hoodie so that we can get an accurate comparison. Now, I don't need to change my pressure on this. This is a different hoodie. This is the organic, but they are pretty similar. When you feel them, they are pretty similar in thickness. So I'm not changing the pressure on this because it will be fine. We say 4 to 6 is like a broader, if it's at 4 or it's at 6, either one of those is fine. It doesn't have to, you know, be dead on 5 for medium. It's just so that you've got enough pressure for it to adhere, but not too much pressure that you're scorching the garment or ruining the transfer. So let's take our Ultracolor. Actually, I don't want to use that one. Where's the other one? We've got 2.
Has it gone Walkies?
Is there another one of these somewhere?
Is this the Ultracolor? Not
That's
the Ultracolor Max?
No, I can use that one. I thought we had 2. No, we'll use that one. Okay. Yeah, so Ultracolor Max heat transfer. Sorry about that. I thought we had more than one of these. But yeah, as you can see, same colours as previously. So I'm just going to pop it onto the press and cover with release paper. Now, the thing to note about Ultracolor Max transfers is that these are hot peel. So you'll notice that the second I open the heat press, I'm going to peel it straight off. And see that pressure's gone from a 5 to a 6. So this garment is ever so slightly thicker, but it's not enough to push it out of that medium zone. So I've just left it. Pops back up, remove the release paper, and I'm just going to pull this straight off. And there you have your second transfer. Oh, wrong way, sorry. There we go. So for those of you that obviously saw the standard Ultracolor, the difference, you can't tell.
There isn't one.
So there isn't one. So if I was
Visually.
to walk into my local school with this hoodie and go, this is the one that I can provide 60, 200, 300 of your students with. And then when I provided them with the garments, I used Ultracolor Standard and gave them this. They're the same.
Would you like me to attempt to hold one?
You can hold. Yeah, you can hold this one, and I hold this one.
You have to let me know if it's visible. Okay.
There we go. See? Can't tell the difference at all. So that is just a quick demonstration of the DTF. I hope that answers your question. Do we have any follow-ups on DTF while we're here?
We're all good on the YouTube front at current.
Cool.
Everybody's been asking for links to the press and the stand, so I have sent those over to everyone who's on desktop with us.
I'll just do a close-up of that print. That looks so good. There we go. I just love the colours, sorry. Yeah, so to recap, Ultra Colour transfers for levers, brand new template on our website, free to download. There's two different options on the template. There's a version that looks like this, which has got the outline with the white text and like the gap in between. And then there's also a full filled gradient version. So instead of having the gradient on the outline, the gradient fills the 2 and the 3. So that looks really good as well. So just head to custom.targettransfers.com and find the levers page in the drop-down menu, and you can download it from there. For those of you watching on TikTok and Instagram, I'm going to ask you to switch over to YouTube now, just because I want to run you through where to find the template on our website and how to order these transfers. So those of you watching on Facebook, YouTube and LinkedIn, sit tight while I change the screen. And those of you watching on TikTok and Instagram, head on over to YouTube now. So bear with me for a second while I share my screen with you. Okay, can everybody see my screen?
Looks okay on my end.
Perfect. So this is EasyView, our online ordering system and designer for transfers. It is worth noting that EasyView is the only place in the UK that you can order heat transfers online. Beth, can you just grab my charger for me, please? Thank you. So when you're on this website, all you have to do is come over to the More section here, and the levers is here in the drop down. Just select that and it will take you to our levers page, which, as you can see from here, you've got your full colour version and your 1:5 colour screen print. So we're going to scroll all the way down. There's a video here which shows you how to apply, and then it tells you about our templates. Now, template number 1 here is our screen printed heat transfer. Thank you. Is our screen printed heat transfer for the initials and the school's logo and your neck labels and all of that jazz. If you don't want all of that and you just want the levers 23 print, then go for the template number 2, which is just 2 standard levers prints on 1 gang sheet. This is great because it reduces the price per transfer, because you're getting 2 transfers on the same sheet. You can reduce your cost by 50% when it comes to investment of the transfer. And then template 3, which is our brand new colourful one, which we launched this week, is our ultra colour. So you can see here from what I was saying a minute ago that this one is the outline gradient and this one is the fill gradient. All fully customizable. You can change the colors of the gradient. You can change how intense they are, whereabouts on the text they blend. Even on the second one here, you can change the color. So this one here has got a purple outline. You can change that. You can change all of the inside. You can change the text from black to white if need be. Really, really customizable. And then all you do is scroll down and fill in this form here, and we will send all 3 templates to you. In the email, there are just 3 different download buttons. So it says download template 1, download template 2, and download template 3. You can download all 3 of them, but as I say, they're all completely free to use. We have built them in Adobe Illustrator, so if you're using the Adobe system to edit them, even better. They will be compatible, they're EPS files, so with any of your other editing softwares as well. So that is how you find levers on our page, and then I'm just going to talk you through, once you have downloaded your downloads, how you then order them online. So I'm just going to play. Here we go. So we're back on the home screen. So this is how you order them. So because we're talking about ultra color today, we're going to scroll down and find the ultra color section. There we go. And then we're just going to pick A3 and add the design. So if we come on through to here, and you just upload your design where it gives you the option to. As you can see, we've got lots of stock designs as well. So even if you're, not looking to order levers, or you want to do your own designs, we literally print any design that you could think of. So send us that over and we'll figure it out in a transfer for you. I know today we're talking about levers, but yeah, like I say, we do transfers for literally everything. So head on over to our website or onto our YouTube to see more about that. The file's almost loaded now. And so it doesn't take long at all, considering it's a very, very high quality file. It doesn't take long to sync up. And it just asks you if you own the rights to the image, which you could just click yes, and then it will pop onto the designer for you. So that is basically it. You can change the color of the background in the EasyView designer so that it matches the garment color, just so that you can see if the transfers you're ordering are correct. But this doesn't print, so it's worth noting that obviously it will still print transparent. And then if you move the transfer around, it will tell you if it's outside the box and that the quality's good. So that's pretty good. And then you just insert how many you want. It will give you a price, and then you hit the buy button. So it's really simple. It's really, really easy to order transfers online. I just want to try and, there we go. Okay. So yeah, that's basically how quick and easy it is to download our template and to order our levers transfers. I'm very aware of the fact that I have been talking for 45 minutes. So we'll plug a live into the calendar for a few weeks' time, and we'll go through the artworking in more detail. But if any of you do want to see the artwork in more detail, Andy has done a live on this, showing you how to edit the text, how to edit the colors on screen and ultra color. So head on over to our YouTube, go to live videos, and it's one of the most recent ones. So just watch that. The only other thing I wanted to talk about was the pricing of ultra color today. So we have had a few questions on how much levers jobs will cost people. Encourage people to do when they get to this stage is to actually go on to EasyView, upload the transfer they would be ordering, or the same size and colors, and get a price, because ultra color transfers change based on how many you're ordering. The prices change to give you the best price possible. So if you order 10 sheets or you order 500 sheets, the cost per transfer sheet will be a lot cheaper at 500 than 10, because we want to make sure that you get the best price for the job. So if you're ordering 10 sheets of ultra color transfers, that is around £5.99 per sheet. Now, if you're ordering our ultra color template with, the 223 prints, that's 2 jobs right there, 2 transfers. So you can half the cost per sheet to around £3 per transfer. And then if you get your JH001 for £89, you can make around 10, 15, maybe even £20 profit per garment, depending on obviously how much you sell them for. But they won't cost you more than £15 to make. So that's a real significant.
And we'd say maximum on that as well, wouldn't we? Very maximum.
What the
£15 to make.
Yeah, it won't cost you more than £15.
Yeah.
So that's pretty a very good entry-level price point. And that's just for 10 sheets of ultra color. If you order 100 sheets of ultra color, which is pretty standard for a class of school leavers, that's just a year or 2 year group's worth. That drops down to just over £3 and a penny per transfer sheet, which is around £1.50 again per transfer design if you're doing the double gang sheet. So again, that's halved the cost already. 200 is just under £2.50, so around £1.25 per design. So again, dropping it even more. And then if you order 500, it's £2.15, so just over £1 per design. So you can get your production cost of these levers transfers down to less than £10 if you really wanted to. And that's it. Sell them for £20, £25, £30, however much the schools want to charge. And yeah, you're pretty much set. And that's only up to 500 as well. You could order a hell of a lot more if you wanted to, but they just tend to be sort of the numbers that people ask us about. So I just wanted to mention that. Do we have any departing questions before we go?
We do not. Everybody's still with us.
Fabulous.
But they're just silently watching.
Brilliant. Okay, well, I think that's everything I wanted to talk about today. Like I said, go and download the levers artwork templates. They are completely free. whether it's the screen print or the ultra color that you want. And definitely consider ultra color when you are producing levers. Like I said at the beginning of the live, even if it's just to take to the schools and say, this is what I could do, and they end up going with the screen print, you still want to offer that as an option. And it does mean that you can increase, you can charge more. So if you do a 1 color versus a 50 color ultra, which we've done today, this is a gradient, but you can add there's so many different color blends in here. You could charge more per hoodie for that because it's a more varied product. You've got more color in there, it's a lot more detailed, but it costs you nothing really extra to do it. It's just ordering a different transfer type, and it's the same fuse process. So it makes no sense why you wouldn't offer that as an option. But yeah, that's everything I wanted to do today. So thank you very much. Thank you, Robert, for joining. I've seen your comment on YouTube. Thank you so much to everyone for joining us today. We'll be back next Friday with another live specifically on DTF heat transfers. So make sure you're joining us for that. And yeah, we'll see you next week.